to the Uncommon Transformation television series.
Education from time has remained the pivot around which other sectors revolve. Surprisingly, the sector over the years has suffered serious setback and neglect by successive administrations in all the tiers of governance in Nigeria. The situation had been so bad that infrastructure in schools, especially public schools, had gone so dilapidated that teaching and learning became a nightmare for both pupils and teachers, forcing parents to withdraw their children and enroll them rather in private schools that were springing up as a result. It is no longer news that pupils were receiving lessons under trees and were often at the mercy of unfavorable weather conditions such as rain and cold during Harmattan season. And because fees were charged in public schools as well as levies of many kinds, some families that could not afford to pay these fees or levies sent their children out as house helps, while others dropped out of school and took to hawking to put food on their tables. Worse still, a lot of young girls were forced into child prostitution to survive and also support their families. This is the gory tale of Akwa Ibom education sector before the emergence of Chief Godswill Obotakpabio CON as state executive in 2007.
We went into the educational arena and then we renovated and rehabilitated over 2,000 schools and built over 2,500 classroom blocks. And then we brought in something that is phenomenal, a revolution. We declared free and compulsory education for our children from primary school all the way to senior secondary school level. And the result, in less than 4 years, we tripled school enrollment. And we opened it up to all children of Nigerians who are resident in Akwa Ibom. Wow. So it's not only to my state alone. And the result is that is a phenomenal policy that has now resulted in our children who were serving as house boys, house girls and all that, and opened doors to orphans and destitutes and people who never thought they were going to have education in life. And today they have hope that they can become something that can also contribute their quota towards the building of Nigeria. So that policy on its own is also uncommon.
Upon his emergence, the governor declared education free and compulsory for all children of school-age living in Akwa Ibom State and followed it up by signing into law the Child Rights Act, making it an offense to deprive children opportunity to acquire education. The result of this is that children who were sent into forced slavery, child labor, and prostitution have returned home and enrolled in schools and colleges in the state. Investigation reveals that enrollment figures in schools have more than tripled, and the quality of teaching and learning has greatly improved, with schools in the state ranking amongst the best anywhere in the country.
A young boy goes with Akpabio all the way from Okana, whose father died at the age of 6 months, raised by one mother with a lot of other children, struggled to finish primary school, could not even go to secondary school for about a year because there was no 10 naira to pay to become a day student. Even in a college that was built by his uncle, who was Deputy Premier of Eastern Region, Minister of Education. And from there, God raised him, God guided him, and he came and he became a governor. Will that person forget the fact that 10 naira can stop a child from having his future? That's why I declare free education. No child should be left behind in Akwa Ibom State as a result of circumstances of his birth. No child should be denied the opportunity to become a professor because when he was born, his mother or his father died. It doesn't matter where you come from. Every person in this state should become the brother's keeper.
The Akpabio administration followed the declaration of free and compulsory education up with a renovation, rehabilitation of school blocks or outright construction to provide the schools a congenial environment suitable for teaching and learning. Courtesy of the administration, schools are wearing a new and refreshing look. The first time schools would be enjoying such gesture in the 27-year history of the state. We went round schools in the state and the testimonies were the same. Stories of how their once dilapidated school have been transformed in one fell swoop by a man who God sent to change the face of education and other infrastructure in the state, Governor Godswill Akpabio, otherwise called the Promise Keeper. We are in the premises of Cornelia College here in Afaraku, Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. The school, which was established way back in time, was in such a state of disrepair until the Akpabio administration came with its policy of rehabilitating structures in schools under his free and compulsory education policy. The principal of the school, an old student of this institution, took us round and has expressed real appreciation to the Akpabio administration for taking the bull by the horn. This is the first time a government in the history of Akwa Ibom State is showing so much presence in the school that dates back in time. It goes to show that the Akpabio administration is not paying lip service to the girl-child education. The principal, teachers, and even the students of Cornelia College, just like their counterparts in other schools, are in cloud nine over this benevolence of the government and therefore express their feelings this way.
The past government did not remember this school. This is the only girls' boarding school in the city. So when our dear governments, led by Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio, CON, came in, you remember that girls' education is very, very important. He came to our rescue, renovated all the structures you've seen. We don't lack anything. He gave us free blocks of toilets, water system, showers, borehole to take care of that situation. In the classroom you have well renovated with fans and lights. So our children, our teachers, our non-teaching staff, we are very happy and we thank God for the gift of these governments. And we pray that God give him strength to do good things for the community that is leading.
CCC Afaraku before was a sorry sight. Was nothing to write home about. Leaking roofs, no classroom. The dormitories were congested, the roofs were leaking, and we had very little number of students, limited, yeah. But thereafter, when the government presence came in here, the governor, the able governor came, the renovation took place. The students are happy, the classrooms are well built with fans, lights, the children are inside, and now this academic year, the turn up is marvelous. We have a lot of students wanting to be here, and they are here.
Well, before now, this place was not a good sight to behold. The whole building were dilapidated, and in fact, it was even some of us teachers, we find it difficult to ask our friend to come and see us here. It was as bad as that. But we thank God for the present administration headed by Governor Godswill Akpabio. Within a twinkle of an eye, in fact, it did not take up to 6 months. The whole place was renovated, and now we can have a beautiful building.
The environment is so beautiful now compared to how it was before. We thank His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State by name Godswill Akpabio, for developing the school, rehabilitating the school to this standard. So we thank God, and we also thank Him. We pray that God should protect Him and give Him more wisdom to rule the state.
Pictures, they say, do not lie. Hence, the buildings shown here were recorded at this 64-year-old institution, which until now never experienced any government impact until the coming of the Akpabio administration to rescue the school. Of particular import is the perimeter fence of the school, which has saved the female students from exposure and risk, coupled with the mini water scheme, which means that the students will no longer have to go to fetch water from streams. At Uyo High School, the situation was not different. The buildings have been transformed, and the very large number of students there are being adequately accommodated. The vice principal, teachers, and the students had kind words for the administration.
Had limited infrastructure in Uyo High School. In fact, we had only 2 stories building in Uyo High School, and for a few bungalows. But now we have additional new structures in the school. That's why we have these 3 buildings against 2 we had, plus so many accommodations in the school. You enter the back yard, then you see so many bungalows. So we have enough accommodation for the students in the school. Whereas in the past, we did not have. Because of the uncommon transformations, especially the area of free education, the enrollment figure of the school has risen tremendously, as greater than what we used to have in the past. Because those who were servants in different places in the country have come back to school. There are no more moving around the streets selling as it used to be in the past. So the enrollment figure has jumped tremendously.
We used to have 2 long-story buildings before now, and the place was not accommodative for the students before now and even the staff. But now, because of the uncommon transformation that has come to see us, we now have extra 2 story building, and now the students are comfortable in the class and are accommodated. And even also we have many staff rooms located at each end of these blocks for us to see the students well.
There is a whole lot of difference between the Uyo High School that I knew when I came in 2008 and what is happening now. Like if you look at the school compound, it wasn't like this before 2009 when we had our ex-principal, Mr. Gabriel. Yeah, the whole school compound was a mess. Like if you look at the rooftops of the school, it was not as good as this. But now things have changed.
It is noteworthy to state that this gesture of the administration does not only end with primary and secondary schools. Tertiary institutions in the state have equally enjoyed a large dose of government attention. The Polytechnic Ikoro Surwa is a case in point. Courtesy of the administration, the entire buildings in the college have been renovated, while the access roads there have also been asphalted. Let's hear what the rector and the students have to say.
Before the coming on board, of our amiable governor, this institution, I should say, was seen as a glorified secondary school. The situation was so bad that some parents would not ordinarily want their children and wards to come here. Before the governor came, the place was grossly underfunded. The structures were dilapidated. There were no adequate equipment, and the staffing was poor. Of course, you would also know that the students' intake was poor, would have been poor too. But since our uncommon transformer came on board, the story has been different.
Before I came in here, for about 2008, when I came in there, the environment was so rough. In terms of lectures hall, there was no chairs and students were standing to receive their lectures. But now things has been put in place. We are so much grateful.
Yeah, I feel glad when I see the uncommon transformation in the school. I'm always happy that I'm from Akwa Ibom and partaking in what is going on in the school.
For now, I'm happy. In fact, I can't wait to come back for my HND because when I came in, that was 2011. The school was not like this. In fact, there has been so much change. The classroom, my first class was kind of dusty, no paint on the wall. We were sitting on, so many of us were standing, but today we have a very nice classroom, well tiled, well ceiling fan, and in fact, we are really enjoying it. It's comfortable now than before.
No, when I came into this institution, the institution was not like this. It was very bad. Everywhere, no classroom. Even students will be in their classroom. When the rain is falling, they will be scattering everywhere. But just by the power of His Excellency, and He transformed the school, and the whereabout of the school is okay.
Then there was no class blocks for lecture. There was no good environment, and as such, lectures was like for a student to acquire a proper learning was hindered. But since our government has renovated everywhere, like you can see the good lanes and class block, we've always been happy, and lectures has been going on, and we've enjoyed it so much.
And I have so many reasons to thank him, because before now, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic wasn't like this. As in, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic is now become an envy of so many polytechnics. So this thing wouldn't have come into play, but not for His Excellency Chief Dr. Godswill Ebubedokpabio. So I want to say a very big thank you to him, because he has indeed made us, the students here, proud.
The Akwa Ibom State University, with campuses at Ikot Akpa and Obiokpa, have not been left out in their massive investment in education. When the Uncommon Transformation TV crew visited the Ikot Akpa campus, work was at advanced stages on some of the buildings there.
Primarily, it's been a question of equipping the institutions at the levels that they are supposed to operate as tertiary institutions. They should be specialized. There ought to be a lot of equipment and libraries and ICT services. And these have been brought on visibly, tangibly, and very satisfactorily, because we are, in terms of the second year of study in a university or year 2 work, we are ranked among the best in the engineering faculties in this country at the year 2 level. But as we grow on, and we are preparing very substantially for year 3, then year 4, 5, then a full undergraduate program is put in place. So it has been a lot of facilities and a lot of infrastructure that we have received, and that makes a world of difference. And also initially, a point of departure from other universities in the country is the fact that we have been 100% residential. The students are here on campus, and there are cafeteria services and laundry services. If you go to other universities, they basically allow the students to provide their meals.
The Chief Akpabio-led administration has improved the lives of the people through the developmental strides evident in all the sectors of the state's economy, especially with regard to education and human capital development. Some senior citizens applaud Governor Akpabio's investment in education and general infrastructural renaissance.
Road construction, water, free education. I'm telling you, Chief Obafemi Awolowo was reincarnated in Akwa Ibom.
Investment in education is not immediately rewarding, and it is a real privilege for those who decide to make it to live to see the results. But I pray that you will see the results of the investment.
I saw the presentation and uncommon e-library, which I want to recommend for other citizens. The state-owned airport, which is one of the best in Nigeria today. Your Excellency, I want to say clearly here that you have performed wonderfully well. There are so many governments before you. The unfortunate community era was quite unfortunate in Nigeria. What you have done within a very short period has surpassed all the successes recorded for those military governments in the past.
There's a complete turnaround which has happened in this state. It's something commendable. It is visionary and it is futuristic. And the mere fact that all the jobs that we have gone through seeing is handled mainly by Akwa Ibom people, providing jobs for the lower cadre and the higher cadre is something that we need to ask all the state governments to emulate.
Even the dreaded Pronaco had kind words for the governor.
I said we are hard forced to criticize this government before because we were inundated with reports about insecurity, violence, and kidnapping. So I was mandated at some point to issue a powerful statement. And my coming down is to come and see the state of affairs here as the spokesperson of the Pro-National Conference Organization. And I've taken time to diligently look at the state of the affairs in Akwa Ibom. And it was very surprising that the kind of reports that we got there was non-existent.
Akwa Ibom people can now raise their head high in esteem. If you were looking for a house girl or house boy, come back. But now, after your state people are looking for house boys and house girls.
The citizens now stand shoulder to shoulder with their counterparts from other climes without feeling inferior. Of course, why not? The state has been massively transformed with state-of-the-art infrastructure and has thus become a destination for all. This, indeed, is uncommon transformation.
Uncommon Transformation television series brings to you the latest information of the monumental achievements of the Governor Akpabio-led administration. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube to read the latest news, watch amazing videos and listen to in-depth analysis and interviews with the men and women working hand in hand with stakeholders to make Akwa Ibom State better. You can also log on to our website www.uncommontransformation.tv for more information. Uncommon Transformation television series, bringing to you the right and current information when you need it.